episode 14 of What They Don't Teach You in Hair School. The topic today is for all my hair students who are about to graduate from hair school or have graduated, and you're about to take that test, the practical, the written, the practical, to get that license, that multi-billion-dollar license in your hands. What they don't teach you is not to jump straight into your own space. What's trending right now and is on a rise is salon suites. Back in the day, it was get your own salon. Now it's salon suites, and they're popping up everywhere. And most places, or you know what, in these times, how people are pushing entrepreneurship, have your own, get out there, do your thing, you're skilled, you're talented, and you can do this, and blah, 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 blah. No, no, and no. Do not, as soon as you get out of hair school, jump into a lease and rent out your own space to do your thing. Unless, and I'm getting ready to get into that. First, let's go with why you shouldn't do that. You're going to learn to be you and then some by practice, by people, learning people, getting out there and doing the work. You first have to get out there and learn the skills of cutting, coloring, curling. But not just that, it's important for you to start in or under someone with a salon that you may know that may need help with, maybe, you know, like an assistant, or they have a lot of traffic coming through their salon. And the reason I say this is because, again, you're just coming out. You don't have a clientele. You don't have a clientele. You're just beginning. You might got a little something, but is that little something consistent where you can afford rent every week, because that's how the salon suites work, or you can pay all up front, you can pay for the month, but it's usually a weekly fee. The average in, the average in a DMV is like $290, $285, $290. Let's just round that off. That's $300 right there every week, right? And some of y'all may say, oh, I can do that with one client. But how often do your one client come? How many of these one clients do you have on a consistent basis? So for instance, like a lot of us out here in this area, if you walk into a grocery store, the most people that you see out here is not wearing their own hair. They're wearing braids, they're wearing wigs, they're wearing weaves. Those clients don't come every week. They don't come every 2 weeks. Some do who can afford that, but most of them do not. Once you do it, they have it so that they can maintain it for the next month or so. You know what I'm saying? Most people in this area and in these times, the majority are not coming to get their weave done every week, every 2 weeks. You see what I'm saying? So that is not a weekly client. And then it has to be a consistent client. Then you got to wait for those appointments to come in. So let me tell you this. If you have a strong clientele, I'm going to give you reasons to, okay, you may have a pass to go ahead and open your own salon suite. Let's talk about salon suites first. Salon suites average in this area, they range depending on who you're renting from, where you're renting from. But those suites go for like almost $300 a week and up. That may be one of the lowest, okay? Then you gotta factor in equipment, okay? Because it's literally a blank shell, okay? Now, mind you, this is for those who don't, and maybe those who do have a clientele, right? You got your salon suite rent. You gotta pay for your equipment. You gotta pay for your inventory. You gotta pay for if you need an assistant. You gotta pay for your business expenses, meaning like your phone. You got gas. Let's think of a few things. I talked about inventory. You gotta eat. You need clothes. Different things like that. You have to factor in all of that. And some of y'all, if you don't have that amount of money coming in a week, you might want to rethink. But I tell everybody, even if you have a clientele, you need to work under someone or with someone who has that experience, who has that clientele, so you can get the experience of people. Not just doing their hair, but people, doing people. A lot of people think hairdressers are just literally just doing hair. Like literally it's just hair. It is not just hair. It is a mental, physical, and spiritual experience. You as a hairstylist, you got to think of like, in hair school, they don't teach you customer service. In hair school, they don't teach you how to set your salon up on the business end, on the tax end, and then just for how you want to do things. All that goes into play. So you need to get the training outside of school. Inside school, you don't really learn how, depending on the school now, depending on the school. Some schools are amazing. Like you learn good hair cutting. You learn different skills. But you're really not going to get the real deal holding feel until you get outside the salon. Usually with the hair schools, you do people who are who pay a very, very low fee to get their hair done. They're like guinea pigs. They are guinea pigs. They know that they're coming to a school to be practiced on by a student who doesn't have their license, who does not have years of experience under their belt, and they're getting their hair done. But y'all may think, and that's a certain amount of hours that you have to do, but y'all may think that that's enough. It's not enough. I would suggest that you at least spend a year and a half to 2 years plus and get out there and feel out what it takes to run a salon. A lot of young people are tricked, literally tricked by people telling them that, oh, because you know how to lay it this way, because you know how to do it this day, and you whatever. It's not about that. Owning your own salon suite is more than you're able to do hair. You need money management. You need people management. You need to learn how to manage yourself and make sure that you're up. You're on time for your appointments. You have to, again, manage yourself and make sure, like, how many days do I want to be in the shop? How many days do I need to be in the shop to make what I need to do to not only pay for my expenses, but to pay for me to live and enjoy the fruits of my labor? So it's not about just renting a suite. And then what you want to do is you want to work under someone, and don't do, a booth rent. You want to work for someone. Yes, they're going to take a piece of your the money that you make, but the piece of that money you make is paying for you to sit in that chair, bring in your clients, pay for your water, your electricity. You'll see it's not as bad. It's not taking as much money as if you did a suite. You want to get your foot in the door. This is a time where you're really getting the skills and training as to what it takes to run a salon and to run you. And that's why you see a lot of young people coming out of hair school and jumping right into a full-blown lease. They don't have the clientele. They don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to pay their bills, because a lot of people are still living at home. A lot of people are they're not adults yet. It is a big responsibility. And then let's just say you don't live at home. You got your own place. You're about to double your rent. You're about to add on to your rent a month. Let's just say you get a suite that's $300 a week. Times 4, that's an additional $1,200 a month. Plus all the other expenses that come with running your business in that suite. It does not make sense. Do not come out of hair school and jump into a salon suite. Get out here and find a salon that's in a busy, high traffic area. Someone that's doing what you're doing or know how to do, but they've been doing it for a while, and you're going to learn skills beyond what you think you know. A lot of young people, and it's not completely your fault, because what's happening is the internet and the things that you watch is telling you that you got this all figured out. Oh, all you got to do is do this and do that and do that. Don't be fooled. It's more to it than that. And if you don't believe me, how about you do this? Go on YouTube and see how you see people have talked about how they went straight from hair school and got a salon suite, and it was one of the biggest mistakes they made. Because it's not just about having a suite. It is a full-blown business, and it comes with a lot of work and effort. You're the one who has to come in and open that suite up every morning. You're the one who has to leave with the last client. You're the one who has to do your books. You're the one who has to, not only if you live on your own, you got to get up. You got to get your kids together, get you together, get through traffic, make sure that you get to what you call it on time. Then when you get in there and you got your clients, if you got one client at a time or multiple client at a time, people change their minds. People add on stuff, which can leave you frustrated. It can just throw off the whole day. Then you're late, and then it's not just running salon. You gotta get used to that. In the hair school, it was safe because and the reason I know this is because I was once a hair school teacher to the top. Like, I became a supervisor, so I know what it's like to be a teacher, and know what you all go through and deal with, and what's in school and what's the difference between school and outside of school. So let's go back again. School is really not showing you the real deal Holyfield, okay? In school, if you want to be real, you're being babied and you're very comfortable. You know why? Because in school, there's a director, which is your teacher, that says, oh, when you get onto that school floor, when you've done your certain amount of, sorry y'all, when you've done your certain amount of hours, then you're put on the floor. And from the floor, that's where you get the practice of doing different hairstyles, chemicals, all that stuff. It's fun on the floor. That's where you learn a lot, right? But when you get on your own, there's no one directing you. You're literally on your own. You're the one who has to make the appointments. You're the one who has to make sure you're on time, they're on time. Then if they cancel at the last minute, it's not easy. And that's what I'm saying. Don't just jump out and get into a salon suite. You need to learn how to manage yourself. You need to see how a salon business is truly run. Okay? If you don't believe me, go ahead and do it. Try it. You're going to be surprised. And that's why you have a lot of young kids out here, jumping out there. They don't know how to talk to people. They're mad. They're angry because they got all these extra expenses that they thought, oh, well, I can make my rent with one client, not whatever. Well, what if you just have 3 of those one clients in 1 week? Okay? Yeah, you may have paid for your rent, but did you pay for yourself? Because don't forget, you have your own personal expenses. Do you have your money set aside for your rent, for your gas, for your electricity, for your phone bill, for just different things? I'm talking to the ones that they weren't thinking about this. Now, there are people, I was one of them, I had a clientele while I was in hair school. But I still ain't go out there and jump into no salon suite or go and buy a building and run a salon. You haven't learned how to do that yet. You haven't even been out here long enough to even know how to talk to people. In hair school, the teacher, somebody walks in, sign in, want this. The teacher says, oh, hey, Nikki, I have a roller set for you. In the salon world, it don't work like that. No, honey. No, and no. So, I'm going to tell the ones who I think can go ahead and just do it, right? None of y'all. Even if you got a clientele, if you got like that, there's more to hair that you need to learn. And one of the biggest dilemmas in this area is we got a lot of people who are skilled, YouTube skilled, Google skilled, but you don't know the back end of chemicals, the back end of ingredients. You don't know to make sure this person is this. You don't know how to, again, talk to people. You don't know how to figure out what people want. You do what you want to do, not what they want. I can go on and on and on. So, no one. But if you still don't want to listen and you want to try, think about this also. If you're going to do this, whatever that rent is, you make sure you can make quadruple of that in a week. Okay? At least, let's just say triple that in a week. Now, that's based on your personal expenses. Then, how is your client, again, how is your clientele? Are you bringing in that amount of money times 3, 4? And then if you live on your own and you have children, your personal expense is more than that rent every week. So it's enough. Take your time, be patient. There is no rush. There's no rush. Because what you want to do is you want to build a good quality brand for yourself, right? So take your time. The world's going to tell you, oh, you do that, you do that, blah, blah. No, take your time. And get out here, enjoy yourself. Enjoy, learning. Enjoy being able to just leave. When you're done, you leave. You don't have to clean up the shop and do this and do that, that owner's going to have someone doing that. You know what I mean? So be smart. Think about stuff. Think about the end all, the be all. Okay? So if you still don't want to listen, again, make sure you're making at least 3 to 4 times of what that thing is. Then if you have rent, if you live on your own in personal rent, the average apartment in this area, the DMV, is at least, depending on where you live at, even the hood has gotten expensive. Okay? So at least, let's just say you don't live quite in the hood, but you live a little bit of whatever, your rent is starting off $1,600, $1,700 a month. Then you got electricity. Again, you have all types of little expenses, and we got to feed you. A lot of y'all not even cooking. So that means that's a whole nother hundreds of dollars a month in food for you to eat. And if you got significant others and children, hundreds, especially if you're not cooking. You're spending money. And that's what we was talking about. Let's say, where is the money at, right? Do the numbers. I said, for one day, track your money. From the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. And sometimes, this is what I used to do. I used to sometimes forget, right? And I would track my expenses, and I forgot that when I woke up, I just happened to put on the phone and something came across my screen. And I was like, oh, I want that. Boom. Paid for it. Came out my account, right? But all throughout the day, I'm here at Chipotle. I went to Target. I had to pay, don't forget the bill that may come out on that day, Geico, different things. And I may have already spent almost $800 something. Because I started the morning off online, I spent $100 something. You know what I'm saying? Me? So you got to think about those things. You don't want that extra stuff. That's an extra big bill. And you're just getting out of hair school? Don't do it. Don't do it. Start off in a salon, and this is how you pick your salon. Find a salon that's in a busy area that's getting high traffic. And those are usually your salons that are near grocery stores, big beauty supply stores, busy shopping centers, because people, you got a lot of women coming in and out of those type of things. Those are perfect places that have high traffic so you can get that experience. Now, still do your hair on the side. If you got clientele on the side, do them on the side. I used to work in shop, but I still had clientele I would do at home also. But I was in that shop, learning how to open up a shop, learning how to close a shop, learning how to speak to people, learning how to ask people what would they be interested in having done, learning how to having consultations with people, getting to know how women speak what they want. And once you learn that, that's going to help a lot. And I'm going to tell you now, we all may have vaginas, but we all speak differently. Such and such may say she doesn't know what she wants. She like, you're the hairstylist, you just do you. What? Oh, you want me to do me? Oh, okay. But no, you don't do that. When a client says that, you got to figure out, okay, well, what kind of things do you like? Let me see some pictures of you in the past. Show me some pictures of things that you see around you that you like. And that's what she means by, and then once you find those things, you create based on the information that you ask. Visuals, because a lot of women sometimes they don't know what they want. They want you to figure it out, but they really know what they want, but they just don't know how to say it. That takes time and skill. It does not take the 1,500 hours that you spent in hair school to get your license. No. And that's why, again, a lot of us flop in this era, because we have no customer service skills. I remember back in the day, I worked at Hair Cuttery. I worked at this shop called Scandalous. That's where I learned how to cut hair, because this lady would cut and I would watch. I learned how to cut hair, and I learned how to use clippers in Hair Cuttery. I worked at this one popular salon in Prince George's Plaza. It was the salon. It was the salon. All types of people coming in there, and you learn so much. You don't know everything when you just come out of hair school. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't. So again, I'm getting ready to end this video by saying, do not leave hair school and jump into your own place. Don't do it. Work somewhere first. Still have your people on the side that you may do, at home or wherever. Do house calls or whatever. Do that for at least, if you can't wait 2 years, at least a full year and some change. And then see if this is really what you want to do, and then make sure that whatever it is, you can cover it. When I first got my salon suite, I had a very nice clientele, right? But when I first got my salon suite, I started in a salon. After I'd done hair for years, I got my first own place was a salon suite. I did have a building. I had a building for 7 years. And that's a whole nother beast, okay? Listen, I'm telling you, listen. Y'all better listen. I'm telling you, don't do it. That's a whole nother beast. But what I did when I first got my salon suite, I had a very nice clientele. Like, I had a very nice clientele. But I went into that, I did numbers first. So I went and heard about this place called Salon Plaza. And come to find out, that's when I was working for Hair Cuttery. And when I worked for, I've heard about this place called Salon Plaza. Come to find out, the people who own Salon Hair Cutteries own Salon Plazas. It was a family business. So it fell right in place, and I got in. But I first asked, well, how much was it? Right? How much was the rent? How much would my weekly rent be? And when I was told the number, I was like, in my head, I need to make at least 3 times that amount just to make sure that I can pay for my rent and my expenses. And my expenses included me. Okay, so I at least had to make sure I can afford the rent, and then afford me based on the money that I was going to bring in. And y'all, I haven't turned back since. I've never had to go back and do commission with someone or work in the salon. Once I got my own place, it was on and popping. But again, I've been in doing salons for years before I jumped out there and did a salon suite. And that's where I learned a lot of skills. I learned, again, how to do a lot. So again, what they don't teach you in hair school is not to jump into the salon suite business right out of hair school. Give yourself some time to develop your skills, what you're good at, and your personal skills, and make sure that you can take care of you and run a business at the same time. That's entrepreneurship. Are you really ready? It's not just doing hair. It's more to it. And people, even clients, make you think it's just, they think you're just doing hair. They don't know half of what really goes into it. They just see the surface stuff. They see that they can come in, walk in, sit down in a chair, and get their hair done. That's surface stuff. It is more to it. People don't know the half. People don't know the half. Let's not talk about the people that you have to deal with that aren't nice, don't respect, coming with, different attitudes and whatever. And if you're not up for that, if you're one of those people that feed off of energy, that could just ruin your whole day, your whole mood, and then you ready to leave, or I ain't doing this, and blah, blah, blah. So think about it. Do not jump out there, okay? So I was just reading, so okay. So I hope that helps someone. This is what they don't teach you in hair school. This is episode 14. You all have a great rest of the evening. Bye.